Hello everyone and welcome back to our Let's Play of Stray. So when we last left off, we had given Marusk all of the music, as well as Elliot his poncho, which is now keeping him nice and toasty warm, somehow. Dude, just shut down the AC. I'm sure all the computers and screens running in this room will keep you nice and warm, but anyway, there's that. Anyway, let's move on. So we have all of the Outsiders notebooks, and we now need to essentially give them to Momo. But before we do that, I actually want to discuss a little bit about, some theories about when this game takes place, how long it's been since humans have gone extinct, and all that. So, because there are some subtle hints that I've mentioned in previous videos scattered throughout the game. So for one thing, the YouTuber Kibbles notes that based on things like B12's memories, the number downstairs in Elliot's programming, where it's like nearly, 7 million years. So since the robots attain sentience and the slowing rotation of the Earth and given the 16-hour clocks and all that, the growth of these Zerks from single-celled bacteria to multicellular organisms as they were, as well as various there's like billboards around the place like depicting the possible continents of Earth, assuming that this still takes place on Earth anyway. Yeah, the YouTuber Kibbles notes that humans possibly went extinct sometime between 7 million to 2.3 billion years prior to the events of the game. Now those numbers are a bit stretched. They're kind of, I don't know. It seems like quite some time, especially given that all of the, a lot of this machinery and stuff still works. I mean, yes, the robots could be upkeeping quite a bit of it, but you still have biodegradable materials and things like that, paper and stuff like that. The paint is still wet. Cardboard still exists, as far as we know, we haven't seen any processing facilities for any of this stuff, So assuming a lot of this stuff is still there, I mean, at the very beginning of the game, when we were in our little hidey hole with the other cats, the flat piece of cardboard that they slept on was still extant. I don't know. It probably isn't necessarily millions of years, though it probably is a good amount of time. Like, for example, if we look at this poster, if that's at all a depiction of the continents of Earth, it looks nothing like it does today, or it's flipped upside down or something. Who knows? But anyway, so that's one theory, is that humans went extinct some 7 million to 2.3 billions of years, based on those various factors. Now, in terms of when the game actually takes place, the YouTube channel SDK notes that the things like the boxes, there are some dates on various boxes, like, delivery packaging that's been postmarked. And we see, that those boxes possibly came from the 2010s. So, there's, the date, 2011 or 2015 on it, etc. And the various other surviving objects, like I said, the cardboard hasn't fully degraded. The paint in the buckets is still wet and things like that. That gives a hint that, it's probably not terribly far into the future. Relatively speaking, as in it's not like millions or billions or bajillions of years. Also, the number down at the bottom of Elliot's programming might not actually be days, but it can also possibly refer to a Unix code, a Unix timestamp. And if that number, right, the 25448755556 in terms of days, if that's actually a Unix timestamp instead of just, a number of days, then that would be the date of Tuesday, the 23rd of August, 2050. 2050. After which the companions, started to further evolve, right, after attaining sentience. Furthermore, the engineering degree that we saw in the flat where we met B12 is actually dated 2198. So based on things like B12's comments, this supposed catastrophe that has afflicted Earth probably occurred sometime around the year 2084. And based on the Employee of the Month plaque in the bottom of Doofer Bar, as well as the weather report on the TV, and the calendars and all that we've seen, the date is likely October 11th, currently anyway, in the game. The game actually takes place on October 11th, possibly 2827. However, that's one theory. Another theory is that date is actually wrong because if you look at the phase of the moon in the beginning of the game, it would seem to imply it's like a full moon or something. So the only other time a full moon would occur on that particular day of October 11th would be the year 3127. So take your pick. It's October 11th, it is either the year 2827 or the year 3127. So, it's kind of, take your pick. I mean, both are kind of plausible, but the moon, celestial bodies aren't going to lie. It's just nature. So, I mean, the moon one, October 11, 3127, seems a bit more logical, but I could easily see it taking place in 2827 as well. Given the fact that all this machinery and stuff, aside from the robot language and all that, these are all very modern, recent designs, if you will, of these various things, these objects. But I don't know, maybe robots haven't innovated their technology as much as humans have in that period of time. 2827 is, some time into the future, right? They're still running on these old school, air conditioners and vending machines and things like that, but who knows? Again, we are looking at the slums here. This is not exactly the most high-tech of futures. Okay, so those are some possible ideas about when the game takes place. Another thing that kind of piques my curiosity is how on earth can the cat communicate? The cat effectively, for all intents and purposes, functions as a silent protagonist. The cat does not speak. Aside from the body language and, of course, the meows. But aside from that, the cat it's almost inconsequential, this animal. It's just doing what cats do, right? Yet somehow B12 effectively functions as our interpreter and translator. But yet that raises the question, how can B12 communicate with the cat? How does the cat understand B12? And how does B12 understand the cat? The cat can only really communicate with body language. B12 isn't speaking in meows and all that, but, it doesn't have the body language of a cat. So how are these two, the cat and his drone, communicating? Who knows? Of course, the obvious answer is that, well, dude, it's a game, so it needs some kind of player convention and mechanic to allow, the player to understand what's going on, so therefore B12 has to, yeah, obviously. But, within the world of the game, how on earth can B12 effectively communicate with this cat? So assuming that somehow this cat understands B12's language, let's say it's English. I don't know. Who knows? It's never really explained. Another thing I was also kind of thinking is that, the way the robots speak and their sort of chirps and warbles and, and their little mumbles and things like that, it is kind of, it's a clever gameplay mechanic, and the fact that the developer only needed to make so much quote-unquote language for the robots, right? It just needs to differ in intonation, but it's basically just a bunch of nondescript sounds. It's not really a language, so to speak. It lets the developer off the hook, and it means the developer didn't really need to hire professional voice actors, right? So they didn't need to go through all the trouble. It's like, oh god, now we got all this dialogue in here, and now we need to get voice actors to voice it and record it and all that. No, it's like, no, we don't need any of that, you know? The robots have their own made-up language. We'll just have it be translated by B12 into text, and the player can read it. So that was kind of clever, I think, on their part. I don't know if that was their actual reasoning, if they did that as a workaround so they didn't have to get voice actors, but I don't know. It seems kind of, you know, it was a smart move in my opinion. So yeah, again, I don't know how big B12 or Blue 12 is, how big the development team was on this game, but it could have been, for all we know, a fairly small development team, but it's nice, you know. It's a clever way of getting around the need for voice actors. Just, hey, just make up their own language, and it'll just be a bunch of warbles and chirps and stuff, and just noise, and beeps and boops and bops, and we'll just have text. What the player can make up in their mind is far more emotionally resonant than, you know, a voice actor, in a way. Okay, so I've blabbered on enough for now. Let's continue on with the story. All right, Momo, we have your notebooks. Hey, little cat, are you still looking for those useless notebooks? Well, yes, we have found them all, buddy. How about Balthazar's? That's Balthazar's notebook, right? I never quite understood what he was talking about most of the time, but he was very wise. Ah, some interesting commentary on his friends, Momo's friends. How about Doc? Oh, it belonged to Doc. Maybe the translation's a little off. There's some grammatical errors in here. Sorry, I'm a former English teacher, but yeah. It belonged to Doc. He was really a huge nerd for electronics and stuff. He was always on the verge of a great discovery. Well, good to know. Wait, you actually found all my friends' notebooks? Oh, what's that note? The transceiver can be repaired. This is incredible. That means we should be able to communicate outside of the slums. Clementine, Balthazar, Doc, I'm sorry I doubted our cause. I'll promise you. I'll find a way to reach the surface. Thank you, we might be able to find you a way up. Now let's fix this piece of junk transceiver. See, that's all you needed, Momo, was a little bit of motivation. Et voila, it works. Come with me. See, you got a little pep in your step, buddy. Up there, see that building high above the others? If you install that transceiver at the very top of that tower, we should be able to communicate with the whole city. My friends might still be out there. If there's a way out, they'll know it. Gain new item. Okay. You're the only one small and quick enough to evade the Zerks. We need you, little outsider. Bring us to the sky. Yes, he's talking about... Can't see it very well. There's a tower up there. On top of that building with the orange lights. We need to install this transceiver so it can transmit from high up. Yeah, on this antenna. Don't ask me how a transceiver that's literally like twice or like 2.5 times the size of this cat, it can somehow carry it around. But remember, we have B12, which like digitizes everything and defies the laws of physics, you know. So, all right, well, we'll be back, Momo. We've become the Kitty Xfinity mobile Comcast repair cat. By the way, if you don't know what a transceiver is, essentially it's a combination transmitter and receiver. Okie dokie. Rooftops. We've got Zerks up ahead. Those wascally little Zerks. And gee, it looks like we've stepped into like purgatory or hell or something. What's with all the red mist and the light? They're trying to make some kind of statement. Over here. Yes, indeedy. Alright, so we got some evading to do. These little suckers. Jump! Jump! Come get me! Alright, oh, we need to jump over here to that air conditioner. Then up there. Very good. And right here we have a memory. The city is full of neon. It wasn't always this way. There used to be strict energy caps, especially in the slums, but people couldn't handle the constant darkness. One day someone lit up rainbow lamps, neon signs all over the house, all over their house. That person was taken away and never seen again. But people saw hope, and not long after, everyone started putting lots of lights in their homes. There was nothing the oppressors could do. It was a way for people to see colors again, like on the outside. I think it helped. I noticed that for B12, the memories, the grayed out ones show that there's memories to be found here. So we have to find one more memory up here on the rooftops, in this section, that is. This looks like another version of the sign just above Momo's home, except this one is like red, not orange. So, a possible hint that these people are living in what is effectively a police state, right? This person who violated the no light law was essentially hauled off and never seen again. That is disconcerting. Alright, we jump to here. Then, in order to get over there, we need to jump back onto it. Swing it back there, and now we're good. And yeah, we're headed up to that antenna there. So we need to get to the top of that building. We'll do our little hamster barrel thing here. Roll over here's. Swing over here, jump up there. And here we get some idea of what exactly the Zerks are capable of. This literally looks like what TV Tropes refers to as meat moss. Like, it's like bioorganic material growing on stuff. It's gross. It's like Dead Space or something, you know? Or it could, I don't know, I'm no biologist or bacteriologist or anything like that. This could be just some massive form of like mold overgrowth. Yeah, it's pretty gross, if you ask me. Anyway, luckily our cat is not affected by it. It's not like this goopy substance where, oh, that fence just collapsed on us. It's not like this goopy substance where the cat gets like stuck in it and like walks slowly or something. Alright. So, what we have here, we have some scaffolding up there. We need to roll that barrel over there to over there so we can get up higher. Like above that exit sign there. But we need to evade these Zerks, and so this is a kind of a like a sally port of a gate here. So we need to open this door, let them in through here, run around, and close the door, close the gate on the other side. All right, here goes. wonder what this does. Does this open the doors? There we go. Alright, now we gotta traverse on top of this this crane here. It's like that movie Skyscraper where Dwayne Johnson, you know, has to run from the crane, jump from the crane into the building. Luckily, we do not need to do such a thing. These little glowy things that we've seen before. These are essentially, I believe, Zerk eggs that have yet to hatch. Luckily, they they won't bother you. I think they're too premature to hatch yet. Man, the fungus among us, or whatever. This place needs need to get pest control in here, or some what do you call it? This place needs this place is gonna need quite a bit of those Clorox wipes, if you know what I mean. Alright, we got Zerks here. Alright, we need to get to that scaffolding on the other side there. Hello. Head off. Go away. Over here. Or just go around to the other side, sure. Run! Boom, that's how you do it. Alright, we got some Zerks in that cage there. We got another barrel to roll. However, before we do that, if we go back here, there's another memory on top of a NACO Corporation sign. NACO Corp. They were responsible for waste management. As trash from the upper levels overloaded the slums, they tried to develop a bacteria to dissolve it all. After the humans disappeared, that bacteria mutated, growing, eating way more than trash. And now we have Zerks. Let's go. Alright, that's our second findable memory here. We do have one more memory in this area, but it's automatic. Yeah, that explains what these Zerks are. They're ginormous, mutated, evolved bacteria. They start off... So, the basic idea is that the city, when it closed off, it started accumulating more trash, as humans are wont to do. And so, in order to deal with the trash, NACO Corporation bioengineered bacteria effectively. They said, okay, it'll eat up all the garbage. And there you go, waste management solved. No. Humans died off. They created a plague, essentially, from sealing themselves inside a city. And if anyone knows, right, when you seal yourself inside an area where there's a very high density of people, then disease spreads really fast. And humans effectively killed themselves off with a plague inside the city. So to escape one ecological disaster, they sealed themselves up inside the walled cities, but inadvertently started a plague which killed them off. And before that happened, NACO Corp developed a garbage-eating bacteria which has now mutated into Zerks, which now eat everything. Organic matter, metal, all that stuff. Pretty creepy and not a little bit gross. Alright, let's do this. We gotta run, 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 run. Out the door. Alright, very good. Problem is, we faced another bit of a problem. We need to open up this gate again, because we need to roll this a little bit further in order to get up onto that I-beam there. No Zerks can get us up here. Oh look, another group. Come on, run. Run, run, run. Alright, we are almost there. Antenna is at the top of this tower, and as you can see, there are gobs of Zerk eggs. They are ready to hatch, and once we hit this switch, all Zerk hell is gonna break loose. Alright, let's do it. Calls the elevator. And here they come. Alright, we gotta evade them until the elevator gets here. Go away. Disgusting little creatures. We'll just run around in a circle for a while. This way. Go on, get off, get off, get off. Luckily, they cannot get inside the elevator. Luckily, none fall into the elevator as we're riding it up. Alright, well, unfortunately, the doors are broken. The elevator works, not the doors, though. Here it is. Put the transceiver on this antenna. Okay, well, we just need to install it, like, right here against this panel. So let's do that. Yeah, look at the size of that thing. And it just magically powers up. I'm not sure if that's how transceivers work, but you know, whatever. It's a game. You can see Midtown up there, off in the distance. Look, the view, it's beautiful from here. Well, if you call looking at dilapidated buildings and gross Zerks and overgrowth of mold and dust and all that other crap beautiful, then sure, yeah. I remember now, the city, it was meant to be a shelter. Those look like stars, but they're only lights marking the hermetic roof sealing off the city. Ah, so the city is literally, it's hermetically sealed. Humankind built this shell to protect themselves from the outside, but it came at a cost. Nobody can go out. The outside was a disaster, completely barren, unlivable, and dangerous. But if you come from there, it must mean it's safe again. Yes. It's not barren, and as far as we can tell, it's not particularly dangerous. It's probably more dangerous inside this city than it is outside. Where we come from, B12, it's nice and lush, and there's rain, and other cats and birds and butterflies. Yes, it's safe again. And my promise wasn't just to go to the outside, it was to open the city. I still don't understand why some memories are coming back and others aren't. But I'm certain now this is my purpose. I have to open the city. Come on, let's go back and find Momo. Now that we've connected the transmitter, we should be able to get help. Alright, and that was the final memory in this place. We earned it automatically. Okay, so that's done. Hopefully that transceiver works and Momo will be able to contact the other outsiders. We're going to stop this video right now, and next time we will continue on back down to the slums, and hopefully we'll get some word from the outsiders. So, we'll see you then.